Warning. The following video is most likely unrelated to all previous and future videos on this channel. Subscribe at your own risk. Smashing that like button may cause irreparable damage to your YouTube algorithm and expose you to unexpected and whimsical content. Today's video topic is getting stuff done.
No Snorlaxes were harmed in the making of this video. What you are witnessing on screen right now is a dramatic reenactment of my relationship with deadlines in college. I would kick and scream and whine and complain and beg for extensions and stay up all night and always know that if I had had just one more day or even just an hour longer, that the project could have been so much better. But you know what else I did in college? I got things done. And they were often okay, sometimes even good. And something you don't realize when you're in college is that once you get out, if you're a creative person who doesn't end up working in a creative field, if you, like me, just pay the bills by working a boring desk job, no one's ever going to set deadlines for you again. If you want to keep making videos, if you want to keep researching interesting topics, if you want to write stories, you've got to do that on your own. And you have to set your own deadlines if it's not your job. 3 weeks ago, I had the blessing and the curse of another deadline, because for many years I've been taking photographs of some Native American rock art in Paint Rock, Texas, trying to document what we call solar interactions. So it's where sunlight lines up with the paintings in interesting ways and kind of interacts with them, finishes the story that the paintings are trying to tell in ways that we think were intentional designs by the original artists. So I was trying to put together a bunch of these images in a sequence that made sense so that I could show them to some of the archaeologists and Native American elders who were going to be coming down for an archaeological dig. And I'd known for months that I needed to get this done, but it was really only in the last 2 weeks that it all came together. I mean, this thing was 50 pages long. I basically wrote a book in 2 weeks after months of doing nothing. And I was so focused on it that I actually neglected to kind of prepare for a presentation that I was supposed to give at the dig. So the first day of the dig, I was there outside on a picnic table in the bright sun on my laptop, frantically trying to throw slides together, copying and pasting the images from this PDF. And you know what? The talk went fine. It was great even. People loved it. I got 2 invitations to give it again at other events. And it was all because I had a deadline. And so after the dig, I knew that I needed a break. So I had told myself, like, the day after, other than going to work, I was going to do absolutely nothing. I was just going to veg, play games on my iPad, watch whatever I wanted on YouTube, just completely relax. And that was fine. And then I did it the next day, and the next day, and a whole week. And that was 3 weeks ago. And I've done absolutely nothing for that project since then. And I've started to notice that even though I haven't taken college classes in over a decade, I'm still kind of caught in that cycle of frenzied manic productivity leading up to a deadline, followed by utterly unashamed relaxation that just leads into doing nothing for weeks or months at a time. So we have to change our passwords every 3 months at work for security reasons. And usually I try to make it something that is related to whatever I'm doing at the moment or I'm interested in. And so back in August, I changed it to a word related to a project that I had been putting off for a long time, but I really wanted to get done. So, it was the number, random symbol, capital letter, name of that project, and then capital NOW for now. And of course, you can probably guess what happened 3 months later when I was forced to change my password again. I realized that I had made no progress on that project at all. So oddly enough, I'm finding myself nostalgic for those college years when deadlines were imposed on me. I'm reminded of my hero Don Murray, who as a young journalist would beg for extensions on deadlines. But when he was more established and an editor was more likely to give him leeway and sometimes not even set him a deadline for a project, he started to insist on one. He needed deadlines in order to finish things. So that's my main motivation for starting this channel, to give myself some deadlines. I want to upload 3 videos a month and post them on the 1st, the 11th, and the 21st. Now, you'll probably note that I'm uploading this one on the 12th. But if I hadn't set that deadline of the 11th, it never would have been made at all. I've actually been wanting to do this whole YouTube thing for over a year now, but I got really stuck with that standard advice that your channel has to focus on some central theme and basically upload the same kind of content week in and week out in order to grow and be successful. And I don't think I can do that if I'm going to be posting with any regularity. So, if you want poorly thought out, hastily thrown together, random content, please like and subscribe. No, but some videos might be like this, sort of rambling, somewhat dubious self-help advice. Someday I'll probably share my recipe for making movie theater style popcorn at home. I might teach y'all how to play the card game that I invented. It's called Diamonds, and it's like Spades and Hearts, except it's completely different. I spend an obscene amount of time watching YouTube, and I'd kind of like to do reviews of hidden gems on small and obscure channels that deserve more attention. Occasionally, I'd like to upload longer video essays with more in-depth research and interesting visuals. I thought it would be cool to make a short story book club for people who don't have enough time to read like a whole novel for a book club. So I'd give like a little review of a short story that you can read for free online, and then a few days later there would be a live stream with a special guest where we discuss the story and people can submit questions. And I'm also working on 2 other channels that do follow the standard advice of focusing on a central topic, and the links to those are down in the description. So I've got one about my research on Native American rock art, and although you can subscribe to it now, all of the videos I've posted so far have been unlisted, so they're just for other scholars and archaeologists familiar with our project to view. But I do plan to post some public videos soon if you want to subscribe now so that you can be notified later. The other one is about writing, and I do have a couple of videos already posted, although I obviously haven't updated it in quite a while. But I did used to teach writing at the college level, and so I do want to upload more videos about some of the writing exercises that I developed while I was doing that. And the idea of the channel is that it's not just for people who are creative writers who want to do like short stories or poetry or screenplays, although that's certainly welcome, but it's also about the writing that everyone has to do at some point in their life, right? Like writing a birthday card for your mom, or writing a eulogy, or responding to a crazy text message from your bipolar relative. So again, you can subscribe to either of those channels if you're interested in one of those particular topics, or just stay tuned here because I'll mention whenever things go live over there. Now you may be wondering, is it wise to start a 3rd channel when I'm already having trouble getting the other 2 off the ground? And perhaps, but I'm reminded of the old saying that if you want something done, give it to a busy person. Because there's been times in my life where I did the incredible, where I was teaching at the university level while also doing Sunday school Bible classes for the youth group at my church. And I kept thinking while I was doing that if I just had one less thing to do, that I could spend more time on this YouTube thing. But for me, I think if I don't have a deadline, nothing is going to get done. And another thing that I've noticed about myself is that when I have 2 projects going on and I get really sick of the first one, I'll procrastinate by working on the second one. And when I get really sick of the second one, I'll procrastinate by working on the first one. But if I only have one project with no definite deadlines, then when I get sick of it, I just don't do anything. So I'm hoping that this algorithmic smorgasbord will keep me on task. But if you've made it this far, let me know in the comments how you're going to set deadlines for yourself. Are you going to start a YouTube channel or a blog if people still do those, or maybe a Substack? Maybe sign up for a marathon. It could be a while out, but then you know you have a deadline of when you need to be prepared. Or if it's gardening, maybe buy some potted plants, and then you know you have to plant them before the roots get too big for the pots. I don't know, it's going to depend on what you're interested in, what you're doing. Because remember this, my fellow doom scrollers, the deadline is your friend.